Hello there. I received a really pleasant surprise today. Um, this is the Concept TuffKnives collaboration, a new future release from Concept called The Form. And so my name is Mike, and I do have this YouTube channel that I just started, honestly, like 2 weeks ago. Um, there's no connection to me having this knife in that channel. It's just something that the timing I was very fortunate. I just decided a couple weeks ago that I thought I'd start taking some videos of my knives just to kind of archive my collection. And I'm not doing this to be YouTube famous or anything like that. I just thought it would be fun to have videos of what I've owned and what I've tried, and to be able to go back and look at them and listen to my thoughts and opinions. And so if you do like what you see today, if you do like some of my shorts and stuff that are up there, by all means subscribe. I would love it. It's been fun interacting with a few people that I do have. And so but there's no connection to me getting this knife. In fact, how I received it is, and I'll show you this paper. I'm part of the Kansept Facebook group, and they had shown this knife. There's three versions of it. There's this blue one. There's a tan, and then also a really nice bright, vibrant purple. And they were asking for feedback, and so I just gave some comments. And I didn't realize I was entering a contest, and I received notification that I had won this chance to test and review, and that I would be getting, this sample knife. And so it did come today, and it came in an unmarked box. It was in a concept bag labeled, and I'll just kind of point out right away that I don't know if I would really consider this a prototype. I don't imagine that that's what it is. This is probably a production sample, and so I'm sure Concept can chime in and say, but I'm going to just call out right away that there are some flaws in the finishing that you may catch in the video. You can really see them here on the edges of the titanium, and up here. It looks like maybe they had some problems with the cutting bit, or however they do that, if that's laser cut. But you can see it's anodized over, so it wasn't, but it has almost a look like it's been dropped or something. But I would say this for them. I'm sure this is not indicative of what the production knife will be, brand new, and that this is probably just an early production sample for them to make sure that they're on the right track before going into full production. So again, take any of the flaws you see in the finishing with a grain of salt. And I'll just give you my impressions of just sort of the ergos and the action, and talk a little bit about just some of the specs that they shared with me. I'm also going to apologize about the Band-Aid, only because this guy bit me. I got this, out of the package. I was doing some work and I wasn't really paying attention. And this is definitely a knife that you have to be aware of. You can kind of see there probably what it did, and I just wasn't, paying attention. So this is one that I would really highly suggest that you index and get that finger out of the way, because it just caught the meat of my thumb and put a nice little clean cut in it. So you gotta love knife YouTube people. They always have a Band-Aid, and it makes me laugh every time I see it. So let me just kind of slow down here and give you a few little glamour shots and beauty shots of this knife, and let you take a look at it. This is like almost like a periwinkle light blue that I would call. And one of the things you'll notice is that the scales have this orange peel finish to them that's been anodized over. It's really unique. It's not something that I've seen often. I know like Kunwu has done this, but it's not one that I don't think I've seen it from Concept before. So It's kind of cool. The clip has a little different finish, and again, I don't know if that's indicative of what's going to come new. The thumb disc is like kind of a bronzed, like a nice. I really like this color. So, and then let me open the blade. There we go. So you can see there's the TuffKnives logo. You can see it's been labeled as the Form, and then we do have the model number. So according to the specs here, I'm just going to show you the spec sheet. This is listed as a 3.5-inch blade with an overall length of 8.36. I'll set this down. 8.36 inches, blade thickness of 0.14. The steel is 9CR18. I did not see that marked at all anywhere on this blade. And then the handle type is titanium. So one of my my comments when I was looking at the video and some of the feedback I gave was I had reservations about the thumb disc. I tried a couple knives with a thumb disc, and I just struggled with them. They didn't deploy very well. And the last one I think I tried, I apologize for not remembering the name of it, but it was a Vosteed model. Oops, and it just gave me issues. And one of the things I was just concerned about, I was like, I want to love thumb discs. I think they're unique, but I just haven't had a knife that worked well. I can tell you that this one works really well. If you get, your thumb kind of right behind the corner of that disc, it opens up as good as a thumb stud does. It actually kind of feels better on your thumb than a thumb stud does. There's no need for any of the ridges. And I would say the only thing that I kind of took a little time to get used to was, you can kind of see there, that didn't open up with a ton of authority, but is the reverse flick, off of the meat of my finger. It's not as easy to get that to kind of thwack open as it is with a thumb stud or with a thumb flick. Thumb flick, just, you can hear it probably on the video. It just opens up louder, snappier. So thumb discs are not an issue at all. The blade on this is, let's see, that feels like a flat ground knife. Let me see if I do this. Can we kind of tell? Yeah, that's flat ground. But it is very thin and very slicey. I like to use this this coupon paper to test sharpness of knives. You get these little packets in the mail, and I cut everything with them. So I feel like, when you're consistent with cutting the same type of paper, you really get a good sense of how sharp a knife is, or how it kind of feels. And you can just see if I'm going slow here, but this thing just is, I would put it in the laser beam category. I mean, it is very sharp, and it just goes through this paper like nothing. So very, very sharp knife, as the paper and my thumb will attest to. Another thing that I'll just talk about is pocket clip. I'm on the West Coast. I wear shorts all the time. I kind of wear shorts that are a little loose. The pockets are not they're thinner material and not very taut like a pair of jeans were. So clips tend to give me a little bit of fit. And so I did get this knife, and then I had to go pick up my wife from work, and threw it in my shorts pockets, and the clip works great. I think, to me, when a clip works really well with the type of shorts and pants that I wear, it's a really good sign that the clip is phenomenal and will be good for everybody. And there's no surprises there. This is so smooth. It's got a great ramp on that. The tension is good. So it wasn't a shocker that the clip worked well for me, but again, I just think that when clips work well for Mike, they're going to work great for a lot of people. And you can kind of tell here that the action on this knife is really good. I don't know how much, handling and fondling this thing has had before me, but it doesn't take much to to get this thing to drop, and it drops really well. And I have not, taken it apart or done anything to lube or clean it. So really, really impressive out of the box. I imagine that this will probably be at a price point that's a little more on the budget side, given that it's using a more budget steel, which is awesome because, TuffKnives, like with their collaborations with Fosti, they tend to be, a little on the more premium side for most of their models. And so I'm sure this will be a welcome addition for those that want to get, one of Jeff's designs and have it. So the other thing that I guess I can do for you is give you the weight, since that's not listed, and I know that's always important to me, especially when I'm waiting for a new model to come out and the specs aren't there. So we're going to put this on my scale, and we are almost 5 ounces. I'll be honest with you, it sort of, that's not a huge surprise. It does feel a little substantial. I was sort of giving it a little bit of a pass because let me do that in grams too for anybody who's more metric, because it's what would we consider a full-size knife, so 139 grams. Let's just so let me just show this on camera, that there is internal milling. You can probably see it better from this angle, but that, if I don't want to end things on negative, and I won't end them that way, but let's talk about some of the, I guess, feedback or criticisms, or things that I think that I would change. Is that Kansept, I think in general, tends to be more on the heavier side of their models. Most of their releases, to me, seem to be a little hefty, and I'd love to see them introduce more models that fit more in that, I think what most people would call the EDC range, this 3 ounces to 3 to 4 ounce range, which is a really, I think for a lot of people is a sweet spot. I know a lot of people don't mind 4+ ounces and 5 ounce knives because they feel, they feel like a real knife, feel like a substantial one. But, I always say, like 5 ounces is like carrying around a Campbell's soup can in your pocket, and is awful close to that. So there is a happy medium. If I had to give feedback, I would love to see their knives be a little more lighter. Another pet peeve for me, and I've shared this a million times, and I know a lot of people have, is really would like to see captive pivots. Now this one might be, I don't want to give that, just make that automatic assumption, because sometimes knives with what you see as what's the word I'm looking for? A driver hole can be captive. Null Knives does that, and at first glance you think, oh, it's not a captive pivot, but they actually are. And having that, being able to use a driver on a captive pivot side is actually kind of ingenious and helps out, because there's always a key that you have to line up. Sometimes it's in the frame. Many times it's just milled as a flat spot. And when you're assembling, to be able to take that driver and twist it and then get it to line up to wherever that keyed spot is, it's actually kind of helpful. A lot of times you're trying to do that with like pressure of your finger. So I shouldn't make an assumption here that that's it, but knowing the history, and Kansept does have kind of a pretty strong history of not having captive pivots. That's one thing that I would like to see improved. So maybe a little lighter, and then a captive pivot. And then, I don't know if I have anything else really more to say. I kind of prefer knives that have multiple deployment methods, but when they deploy so well off of at least one of them, and deploying off of your thumb is, I think, one of the most enjoyable ways. It's probably the most natural for most people. When it does it as well as this, I mean, what more can you ask for? So I think I liked the purple one the best, and I am sorry I don't have a picture or anything to show, but The purple looked like it did not have the orange peel, and it looked like it was more of a finish that you see here on the clip. I think the purple was an attractive color, but that, their bronze is always really, really nice. They do a really good job with their bronze. So yeah, and let's just listen to the acoustics here really quick. I'll do a couple flicks and closes. Sorry about that. Yeah, she's very centered, and lockup on this particular example is really good, nice and solid. Let me bring into the frame some comparisons so everybody's out there. Well, I mean, gotta start with another Kansept knife. This is one of my favorites. I love the Raven. The Raven, this one is one that I sort of made my own. It came with a different blade finish in this condition. So what I did was I did a blade swap and a lock bar insert swap to get the stonewash. And Kansept, you do an amazing stonewash finish. It's one of my favorites of all the brands. It's sort of like that polished stonewash. It's phenomenal. I really, really like the way that looks. So you can see bigger knife than the Raven. Very similar handle shapes and ergonomics. And then, so I thought we'll go kind of completely the other direction here. This is the Sparrow Strix. This is a larger full-size knife, and you can see very, very similar. Even a little bit more blade cutting area than this one, but handle looks very, very close. And then I thought this would be another good example to sort of compare. This is a knife I think a lot of people have handled and had over the years. Here's the Kaiser Militaw, and even a little bit bigger than that. So there you go on the sizing. Let's see. Do I have any final thoughts? Yeah, I think I do. I do want to just sort of mention Kansept. I'm going to just sing some praises here. They have a great community on Facebook. If you're not a member, join it. They seem like a wonderful company. I have a background where I came out of the radio-controlled hobby space, and much of the products that we made and sold were, developed in the United States, but developed with Chinese partners and in Chinese factories. And so I feel like there's some similarities to the two, to what the industry that I came from and spent 20 plus years were at, and the knife community. And I feel like I have a really good sense of people, and you can just tell that Kansept is really great people. I don't know any of them personally. I see everybody take pictures with Joyce. I don't even know what her role is there, but Joyce is always at the shows and taking pictures, and people look like they love to line up and take pictures with her. And then I've dealt a lot just by messages with Emily and Tracy, and they're wonderful. They're great people. And they've been so easy to deal with. I had my last knife purchase, I had a little bit of an issue, and they were quick to respond and personable to respond and took care of me. They're just a really, really good company, and they seem like, I would love to work for a company like that. I mean, I'd love to find a job in the knife industry and do something that I'm passionate with. And they're the kind of people that you can kind of tell would be great to work with. So just want to sing some praises. I mean, it's nice to see companies that engage with their consumers and the industry and do stuff like this. And not all do. And so thank you for this opportunity to check this thing out. Thank you for, being given these kind of things, these opportunities to a bunch of people. They're always doing something every month, so it's really, really cool. I think what I'm going to do is I'm part of a couple little knife groups myself, chat groups and friend groups, and I think that the great thing that I could do would be is to kind of make this a pass around knife with amongst my buddies and get them some exposure to the Kansept Form and get it out there. And maybe some of those guys will make some of their own content. So I think that's what's going to happen next with this guy is that I'll more than likely share it with as many people as I can to spread the love around. It's the least I can do. So thank you so much, and I'll wrap it up. That's the end. This is the Kansept Form, and look for it soon. I apologize, I don't know when it's coming out. I want to say, I don't know. I'm not even going to say because I'm going to get it wrong. I'm sure it'll be out there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put it in the video description and comments. So thanks for hanging with me. Long video. Apologize, but you guys are awesome. Thank you.